want to show you how to do a nose. If you can do a nose, you can do a person. And I'll tell you how right now. Hi, I'm Michelle Manriquez from Drop That Brush, and I want to help people who are not artists become artists. Like, subscribe, and ring that bell, please. When I started doing people, I was really scared. It's like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill that person. And so I would look for and take pictures of people who had hats, glasses, and beards, because all I had to do was the nose. If I could do the nose, I could do the rest. Kind of silly, I know, but it kind of got me over the hump of I'm scared of people. The nose is a great way to start. On my Facebook page, there will be the noses that I'm working on and the picture that I'm working off of, and I want you to actually paint with me. I don't want to be the only person painting. I don't want you to say, oh, you did a nice job. I want to see what you guys got and show me. So on my Facebook page, take a screenshot and you can put that into an 1/8 sheet of watercolor paper and come with me. We're going to enjoy this together. On a nose, one typical thing that you all know is noses are red. Pretty much you're going to put red in there. Many times there will be a highlight here or a highlight here, and that will show the roundness of it. A nose that's round, which means we have soft edges. I try to do it in three stages: a light, a medium, and a dark wash, and I'm out of there if I can. We're going to have fun. Here we go. So, here we go. I'm going to work on the gentleman's profile. That's probably the easiest thing you can do. There's not too much. It's mainly a light here, a medium here, a dark here. Pretty much that's all it is. Nothing dramatic. I will use definitely my 12 brush, Loew-Cornell. I'm going to do my first wash. Now, I'm going to stay on this side. I'm going to put light colors. You can see I'm very light. Hansa, yellow. He actually has a lot of red, actual red. So I'm going to use red, but you can see it's very thin. Tad of Ultramarine Blue. And again, you can see it's very light. Very, very light. And because I like this color, I think it's kind of a fun color, I'm going to throw a little bit of that in. It's Janice, I'm not sure what the name of it is. It's a pretty color, and I think it's cool. So I'm just trucking it out. I'm going to first get everything wet. Now I am putting water here and no water on this side. So I don't know if you could see it. I hope you can. I thought maybe if I had little lines, maybe I'd be better. I have a hard time getting out of the lines. I'm just not a good line person. All right, so I'm just going to throw some color. And I'm just going to allow it to blend and do whatever it wants to do without giving it a real, oh my God, here it must be this or that. Very, very light. Don't want it to be too. Now I know that this area, the bottom of the nose, is going to be dark. So I probably will put a little blue on there, knowing right away that it's going to be, and I know this is always going to be red. So for that, I will probably let that roll. Now y'all can do that. That was not big, right? Isn't that pretty? All right, me blow dry it. So that's my first wash. There are two areas This will be light area. This is a light area. This is my dark. Everything else is gonna go and get a medium tone. So let's go back over, how do I get a skin tone? So we want it to be kind of warm. That's way too thick. You want it pretty tea strength. And just a little of that to tie it off. Now I know that I'm going to need some actual red at the tip of that nose in a couple places so it looks good. Now you see right here, I'm going to put water on everything, but I'm painting this area. Everything except for those, which I may have to pull some out. And then I'm going to soften it by just allowing it to bleed in there. This is my second wash. Hold on, let me get water first, sorry. I do it a little differently, but I'm making the assumption that you are a new person. And now if you can watch, I am just covering this area, but I'm not putting it over here. So I'm leaving that little highlight uncovered. Everything else, and I'm kind of trying to put the highlight there too. So hang on. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Okay, it's wet except for the highlight and that one little area spot, because that's all gonna happen is I'll make a mess. I know I will, because that's Sienna, that's how it is. All right, so I'm just gonna tip it in, look at it, looking at the color. I think I need a little more, a little. There, I like that better. And I'm just kind of looking. Now I want to let that blend out. This to be kind of, you can see I'm following the line, but I'm allowing it to just to bleed out. I'm not fighting it. I'm gonna grab it'll be on my list. I'm just gonna quickly make sure there's not a hard line. And the reason why is soft noses are what? They are soft. And you can see how, look at how amazingly, what's the word I want to use? It is, you can see where I softened it, and you can see the other side where it hasn't been softened, and it does make a difference. Now I'm kind of waiting because I actually really do want it to be soft, but I don't want to lose everything. Okay, now I'm gonna put some more color in because I can see there's probably not gonna be enough color. I want a different value between that value and again, the highlight, and I kind of just allowed it to, now I'm gonna come over here. That looks a little too reddy to me. So how would I get rid of a little red? Let me tell you how to do it. What you're gonna do is throw a little bit of blue, and you can see it's very light. I do not want it to be, massively blue. I can take this and kind of clean it up if I want to, because see, that's going to be a lighter color. I'm not sure if I don't know if I like that. It looks like a big white line. Let me just cover it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and allow some of that just to blend in. It won't hurt anything, and I can always play with it later if I need to. All right. Now we know this is the darker area, right? And so I'm gonna actually use a little. Now I don't really see where the dark is, so I'm just gonna pretend it's over there because he has a beard, and that wasn't helpful. I know I'm definitely gonna need a little more red right here. You're thinking, oh my God, it's okay. We're just gonna spread it around. I thickened it up so that I could get a much better, now, is that going to be the right color? Probably not. Why is it not the right color? Because it's a little too vibrant? Really? swear, just a tad. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna throw a little bit, again, of that light blue, just gently, gently. And I'm just tapping it in. And I'm gonna let it just kind of do its thing without having to fight it. And I'm really okay with that. That works for me. Because that is going to be quite darker. I know that he's going to have a more of a red nose. And what else do I know? I know that red really does calm down. Now, okay, now let me tell you, right now, if you can see this, I'd like to put some color in, but I have to be very careful because right now there is absolutely no shade. If there's no shade, what's gonna happen is we're going to have whoopsies. So if you aren't comfortable with handling this, I suggest you wait, blow dry, and come back through. But I like to do it because I get a nice thing. So what I'm going to do basically is I'm just going to tap in. Maybe I'll do a little color here. Just add a little more color. Now you can you see the edge? I've got a hard edge there. I could easily mess this up here because I'm playing, but we'll see. Okay. Layer number 2. Hopefully this should be darker than that, darker than that. And now we're going to do layer number 3. And really, that's about it. So hang on, let me blow dry it. When you're looking at this, I'm looking at the nose right here, and it kind of looks like it's brown. In reality, it's not. It's actually a dark red, purpley tone. And so that's what I'm gonna go for. And you can see, this is this lighter color here, and then it gets darker right here. So I'm gonna take a lilac. Back to much more that color, but I still need to calm it down. So let's calm it down with a little skin tone. I'm still not really loving that. I'm still playing until I can find something that works for me. Oh, I like that. That works. So again, I'm playing with my colors. I'm looking at it. I'm thinking, okay. Now, this time I am not going to dry it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm putting it in looking. Do I want it that dark? Now, he actually has, even though you can't really see it, but there's a soft area here that comes down here. But if he didn't have the beard, that's probably where you'd have a shadow here. So I'm just going to soften an area there. know if you can see what's happening is I've got hard edges. Remember, because I didn't put water on it. That means everything has to be softened as I'm coming through here. All right, let me blow dry. Now I'm gonna get a pretty dark color. This and this will give me a pretty dark color. There we go, it's a nice dark color. Now I'm looking for his, now I am not going to make all of it black. You see, I'm gonna put a little bit. Get the shape and kind of soften it out. So I think I'm gonna make this dark so you can really see it's a very light nose. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna add just a couple of dots, maybe right here. Where's the darkest dark? This is dark here. And maybe here, yeah. Ta-da! Noses are not hard, I promise. You do not have to make it hard. As long as it sort of says nose, people go for, they know it's a nose and they don't even worry about it then. Done now. You know, you don't want to spend hours and hours and hours. You want to put it in there and get done. So here we go. Still a light skin. She's really cute. You know, and if you look, there is like 3 layers. Let's go through them. This is the light. That's kind of her really light. This is light, medium, and dark. Pretty much that's it. It's the same thing we just did, but we're gonna do it again. And hopefully this makes you feel comfortable to go ahead and you can do this. And she is really soft. There's definitely a little warm. Now I'm gonna actually use a little less red and a little more warm kind of orange, which is not my typical, but I think for her, that's kind of what she's got. So, keeping it reasonably light. Again, if I am a beginner, I suggest you wet the entire area. So let's just get some color. Again, you can see it's quite bright, and all I do is put a little bit of this, and it just calms it right on down. Second wash. Everything but probably this area I'm probably gonna leave that light. Everything else will get kind of a wash again. So let's talk about this. I had to draw the nose in. There really was no connection between, basically the part you see of the nose was here. There was no connection. So I'm gonna actually allow part of it to make it kind of just go straight into it. And I'm gonna allow that to actually happen just like that, like it comes right through here. So it's part of it. Okay, I'm gonna soften here. And I'm softening an area. All right, and then it looks like it goes back to that lighter color. Okay. So basically, you can see what I'm doing is I'm making this to be a little bit darker because this is the light side of her face. I made sure that some of this would just come right on through. And now we're going to do all the rest of it. I'm going to put water on everything else, everything except for this little line and this little area. Everything else is going to go ahead and get wet again. Sure that I'm getting enough value change between these two. So I'm kind of looking at this. I think I'm going to come up here one more time. Now, I don't know if you can see, it's pretty dry. And so I may have issues because I did this, but we'll see. Now the final is basically, it's dry on dry. So I'm not gonna get it wet anymore. So anything I do now, I have to soften as needed. Let's go ahead and get a little dark using Ultramarine Blue in this color. It doesn't have to be exactly what the thing says, and it makes it much easier if you don't worry about being perfect. Just enjoy what you're doing. You know, I did not have a person who has a straight profile. I was really struggling to find something that would be a straight profile. This is as close as I've got, and it's kind of blurry, and I'm sorry about that, but oops. And she was a lady in Mexico, and she had this most beautiful skin. So I'm gonna go for a darker mix. This is kind of my medium toned skin tone. This is nothing exciting. I do the same thing every time. So it's not hard. You can do this. I guarantee it. So I'm gonna use darker pink. You can see I really brought it down more than I normally do. Little bit of my blue. All right. So we're going to go with this pink. I'm going to do for the first wash for that and a little bit of that. Okay, here we go. What are we going to do? We're going to put water on it first. And so you can see I just put it in and I just kind of do its own thing. I'm not too excited about, oh, it has to be perfect or, you know, that this is the only way we can do it. It just doesn't seem to hurt anything. I know that I'll be darker. Let's see. I know that this is darker. go ahead and do that. Maybe we'll just put some over here. As long as they don't play with it, won't get in too much trouble. All right, I'm gonna blow dry. And you see this color I'm using? Lilac. You could use, another one would be Loew-Cornell Crimson. Those work really well too. And I'm gonna use a burnt orange with that. And then just a little bit of blue to try to calm it down so we don't kind of look so wow. And I want this to be more brown. What I'm going to do with the rest of it, see, this is the lighter side, this is the darker side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and everything else except for that lighter area, I'm going to get everything wet again. Now, I don't want it to be hard. Can you guys see how hard that is? So I'm going to come here and I'm going to squeeze it. You can squeeze it, and then I'm just going to calm it down a little bit so it doesn't quite so hard. I think I feel that there's too much red. And how am I going to get rid of the red? I'm going to go and get a little bit of blue to kind of calm it. Okay, not a little, I said little. That was not little. I'm going to stop because I'm having issues. And when you have issues, what do? Drop that brush. Now, I'm obviously having a hard time. This just is not going where I want it to go. We'll say, okay, I will try it again. And you know what? I hope you guys notice you can mess up. It's okay. There's nothing big about it. And I'm not going to kill myself because it's doing weird things. Oops, it happens. Not the end of my world. This is day number 2. I so do not like this nose. This nose did not come out like I wanted to. I'm going to try a couple things before I totally give it up. Definitely got too dark. I should have been much lighter. Let's see what I can do. And you know what? I've decided it's a great thing to say, I messed it up. How do I fix it? So the first thing I always do is I put some water on it. Magically enough, just water makes it better. This may not work. I may not even put this in the thing, so don't be shocked if you don't see it. But it's a maybe. I'm always, we all blow it sometimes. And so it's a good thing to practice, and what do I do when it doesn't work like I want it to? So this would be my first thing, is I pull most of this up. It really got too dark, and here's what I did wrong. I figured it out. I used this color. I was supposed to use my reds. And I think that's what happened and why I don't like it. Well, isn't that pretty? Not? Let me see if I can kind of come through and kind of pull the lines back so I can see what's going on here. You're laughing. I don't know if you're laughing. I hope you're laughing. It's kind of funny. I mean, this happens. Okay, so I'm going to tell you my interesting trick. When I totally have blown it, now I haven't scrubbed and started everything. Basically what I did is I just used a lot of water and a little scrub. My first thing is to throw a little Hansa yellow. Yep, that's a mess. You can still see it's a mess. All right, now I'm gonna try to use the correct colors and see if this makes a difference. If it doesn't work, that's okay, not the end of my world. But I try that. Sometimes I may be able to pull things back from the brink of a, oh my. Well, what do you guys think? I'm gonna say that's all right. It's not great. Definitely do not use this color or these colors. Those are bad colors. Yuck. Plain old red. I think it's not my favorite nose, but it's okay to practice, right? You have to realize we're not here to be perfect. We're to have fun. And you guys, I thought you might enjoy watching somebody, how I'd try to fix it. Do you have questions? Anything that would help you? Did you understand how I handled when I hate something and I have to fix? So I go back and look at my values and say, okay, my values, are they working or not? And if they're not working, what do I need to do? Kind of like that. Now I'm just playing. All right, put that brush down. I'm out of here. It's been fun. Let me know. Well, what do you think about that? I had a good time, except for that fourth nose. It's a bad nose. But it's okay to not do perfect. And that's part of watercolor, to blow it. And I think it's important that you see that this can happen. So you know what? Give me your pictures of what you're working on. You can either put it on my Facebook, drop that brush, or if you're a little shy, you can email it to me, drop that brush at gmail.com. So you know what? I hope you had a good time. If you have any questions, let me know. When you're out there playing with your brush, like I did sometimes on this one, and it just didn't work, drop that brush, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. You take care. Bye.